All right, good afternoon, everybody. Just a quick sound check. Awesome. Hope everyone's doing well, having a good evening. Here we are, back to the charts, team. Hope you guys got to digest that first half. Had a lot of good questions and a lot of great answers. Good conversation. Hey, Tom, I'm still here, my man. Always here. Unfortunately, just missed a trade on Google. Happened. I wanted to show you guys the chart and then alert it, and it just completely exploded. But it is one I do want to kind of start here to review. And then we'll take a look, guys. It's going to be a weird second half. Usually the second half's a bit tougher, especially when the market opens and then just continues higher every single minute. We've had a very, very slow grind day today, but we're going to hunt around here, team, and regardless, make the most of these next 2 hours. But let's start with Google here. Just want to break this one down. So if we take a look, guys, a little hack here. This is something that I'm not sure why it happens, but it does. So that's all that matters. Whenever a name, gaps up strong or is kind of in the middle of nowhere, one thing you want to focus on, guys, is can this stock start to migrate towards an intraday cloud? So what I mean by that is when a name like Google, like we were looking at this morning, it was kind of in the middle of nowhere, between two key inflection points and not really, near a nice indicator. Remember from the class, the only exception to trading, in the middle of, quote unquote nowhere in between two zones is if we can play around an indicator, right? Those are also key inflection points. So if you look here, guys, at Google, two really things to drive home. One is pattern recognition, and two is the patience to wait for your indicators. So if we take a look here, all right, one of the main patterns to continue to focus on, guys, are just these higher, ramps that eventually turn into wedges. All right, so we chop up all day and we start to chop down here, kind of giving us that resistance. So to that little trick and tip here, usually the stock kind of finds its way down, guys, to these key indicators, and especially right towards the cloud before it kind of makes up its mind. It's, again, a very weird thing. I don't know why it happens, but it does. So if we take a look here, they just start to migrate. We get that downside pattern. They hold that uptrend, and then boom, we get a nice little pop of volume here, nice inflection point for a really quick, fast trade. If you take a look, guys, I want to show you, how the options move on moves like this. So if we take a look here at the top left, we got the, top right, we got the option chart. And this is why, be very patient when it comes to scalping, guys, because you really only need a handful of opportunities per day. So this move happened at 125. So at 125, the options guys were sitting about $1. They quickly, as it broke out, jumped almost 100% here from 1 to 2, and then quickly rallied all the way up towards that key zone to go to almost 3.5. So if we look at our little tool here, that's a simple wedge, guys, where it went up 190%. So again, I really just want to stress in this example, waiting for your pitch, waiting for things to truly, truly line up. Get a nice formation, or you can wait all day for this, guys, and then boom, you crush that little price action. So again, wait for key levels and then wait for formations and to get towards good indicators, because that's all you need right there. But unfortunately, it gapped up 100% on me and ran, so didn't quite get to take that one. But it was a good lesson I wanted to teach there. So let's look around, team. Again, this section, we're going to have to do a little hunting. I don't want to force trades, but we can look around and see if we have anything forming, any good indicators, any good formations. We'll see. So feel free, guys, to throw some names at me. I am going to cover, the names that we were focused on today, and then we'll go from there. All right, so let's see, guys. And on snow, man, what a climb. Finally broke below that cloud, but it went right near that key level. So remember, key levels always matter more than indicators. So even if it breaks it, as long as it holds here, it's got a chance of continuing. And it's just slowly grinding. But crazy move from Snow. Let's take a quick peek at NVIDIA. This is another one, team, where, man, if you got a good entry in this one, it is giving you zero reason to sell. It just keeps holding that 1 minute cloud, breaks into the zone and holds the key zone. Just continues here, holds the cloud, holds the cloud. It is almost at that point of control. Pretty gritty, grindy move here for NVIDIA. What a day. Tom, Snow paid for this class in 7 minutes. I would have paid for my kid's master's if I held another hour. Oh man, I gotta love hindsight. It's a crazy game. I'll never forget the first time that like happened to me. I had a really big trade and was happy, but then the further it kept going, I actually became really upset. I didn't care about my trade. I was like, wow, if I held, I'd be up X amount. But, again, guys, it's all hindsight. Get your piece. There's always another trade, but it is unfortunately not funny, but a little self-torture to look back at what happened. Like Snow right now, it went to 8 at the highs. Crazy. But let that motivate you, team. There's always setups. But let's look around here. So Rafa, too late to do a trade in Snow. So yeah, guys, I would leave Snow here, and just to drill another lesson. Remember ATR. So again, ATR just gives us a really good compass to focus on, where anytime a name trades higher than its ATR, we just want to be very cautious, playing it at the highs. When you continue to chase these names, higher and higher and higher, your risk reward just kind of goes against you because it really doesn't have, in it more upside range. So for a name like Snow here, the ATR is about 12 points. So again, it can go higher than 12 points, but the further that we keep going, up 19 points, it's just getting, a little, what's the word I'm looking for? Just the probability, we're losing the probability. So, you can take these little trades, but there's just so much packed into it already that I don't expect it to continue pushing higher. I'd rather try to find a name that's setting up nicely and actually has, some real upside to it. Yeah, Chris, absolutely. We'll look at some zones, my friend. It's kind of a natural process that happens here, which is nice. It kind of just helps drive it home. But make sure you watch the replay. I know you will. But we had a lot of good talks this morning, kind of breaking down the zones. Henry, how do you know when a stock is a runner? So you'll never know, guys. That's why trading truly is, if this, then that. For example, on NVIDIA. This is why, guys, having some basic rules can turn trades into home runs. We never want to focus on, hunting for home run trades, but we do want to focus on, remember, there are 2 jobs in trading. Take good trades and manage your risk and follow your rules. So if you got a good entry, guys, early in today, you could have, held a layer and said, I'll cut it when it trades below 1 minute cloud. That's a really good rule. Where if it actually stays above it, that means it's going to run all day, just like SPX. It is not traded below it, and it just runs all day. So we never know these things are going to happen, guys, but that's why having some rules, you can crush, monster trades. Again, we don't want to chase those types of home runs, but if you just follow some simple rules, and it's harder said than done if something just keeps grinding all day, you're getting anxious. But truly, if you can just leave a little on, you can maximize these trades, guys, because, selling it here from selling it here, it's a massive difference. So again, it's these little rules. So runners, I really like that 1 minute cloud. And another thing you can use, if you look at the 5 minute chart, is their key moving averages. So if you look today, team, it spent most of its time grinding the 5 minute 8, which is just an extreme trend, right? We usually focus on that in the 1 minute for the quick moves, but on a 5 minute, that means this thing is just nonstop. So between the cloud and between, a 5 minute, either the 8 or the 21, those are really good gauges of if the stock can actually trend all day. So just little rules that you can use for stop losses or to, hold runners. Man, NVIDIA wants point of control, team. This magnet is a very extreme magnet. But I hope that makes sense, guys. And let's start the hunt here. But Stephen, how long did it take you to become consistent? It took about 2 years, Stephen. I've focused on trial and error on just day trading since I started. And I had, a lot of mentors to shorten my learning curve. So, 2 years isn't a lot in my opinion, but it did take me, a lot of blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point, which I would do over again, over and over and over. So if we look at the market, guys, again, just to reiterate, you never know how high things are going to trend, but it's continued to hold this 1 minute cloud all day. You know, we had a little glimpse here, but we held. We had another little glimpse here, and we held. Right, little formation and pop just continues to run. And remember our zones, guys. Runs to our key zone, rejects it, keeps holding, breaks inside of it, holds it on the retest, and now technically can work towards the top of it. This is very extreme because it's above ATR, but the thing with zones, and I actually saw this in the chat, this is a way, guys, to kind of, you know, we always want the parameter of ATR, but it's just zone to zone to zone. You know, let it go as long as it wants to go. As long as it holds 41.62, it technically has a chance to go to 41.88. That's exactly what it's slowly kind of done here. Ravi, I got NVIDIA at 51 cents. Now it's at 16. Do you want me to sell it now? Yes, brother. You know, I'm not here to tell you guys what to do, but it's Friday. It's 2 o'clock. Make it real, my friend, and big clap for the patience. That's unreal. And that's a classic example, guys, right? 50 cents to 16. What's the percent return on that? I don't know, a lot, thousands. Congrats, my friend. That's absolutely amazing, life-changing. But yeah, get rid of that. And again, guys, that's the power. You know, again, I wouldn't chase those home runs, but that's what happens if you get a good entry and you just quote unquote see what happens. You know, follow your rules. I'll cut below cloud. To this minute, you're still holding, technically. And that's why, guys, it's so important to have these rules. Now, again, just because you have rules doesn't mean you're always going to follow them. But let's start to flip through stuff, guys. I want to see if we can get a setup going here. We got 2 hours, so we're going to let it come to us. But let's see. So you guys throw out some names. Let me scroll up and look back through those. Man, what a trade on NVIDIA. That is awesome. Mark, Fiverr. So Fiverr wasn't on my list, but let's see. Looks like a nice little trade here, my friend, is off of VWAP back to that cloud, right? Kind of held the cloud all day. As soon as it does break below the cloud to change a trend, works its way down to VWAP, which is the next little component in the system to hold. Starts to hold, breaks back above the cloud, and it could continue to trend nicely here. Yeah, pretty solid trend. Look at the 5-minute. And nice, guys. This is why I really recommend combining 5-minute charts with the 1-minute charts, because, you know, on that pullback to VWAP, it also pulled back and held that 5-minute cloud. So again, you're going to see these levels give you confluence and line up together, and boom, boom, boom. That becomes a really nice dip buy. Let it grind, see if it gets back above the 1 minute, which it's doing. See if it continues higher. Ken made 8,300 today on NVIDIA. Let's go, my friend. Amazing, amazing. So that's my thoughts on Fiverr. I'm going to look around here. So let's see. We had Tesla on the list today, guys. It's been pretty damn messy, but someone just called it a wedge. And yeah, great call out. Let's look at a 5-minute chart here. Oh, yeah, phenomenal. It looks like it's happening as we speak, so I'll speed this up a bit. But yeah, really nice trend break here, guys. We do have the 5-minute cloud and VWAP to get through, so this is some steady resistance. Let's peek at the 1-minute chart real quick. Yeah, nice go here. All right, let's see. This is actually a pretty solid setup. Let me size up Tesla contracts here. So it's Friday, guys. With it being end of day on Friday, we need to be very careful of the trades we take, because if they go against you, they're going to white premium a lot faster, being at the end of the day in the last 2 hours. So 2 options here for your team. One is you can go to next week's and pay a little more and have a little more security if you do want to scalp the last 2 hours, or you can just size down play with these smaller contracts and just quote unquote accept a little more risk, but truly not putting much capital into it. Because if they move, they're going to go up a lot. But again, if they go against you, you don't want to have too much size in it. So play with profits, guys, or consider next week's. Lifelong. Hopefully I just answered that. With SPX, last 2 hours usually get a bit crazy. So with it trending up all day, I would probably just ignore it. The risk reward doesn't seem there. So Tesla, guys, we missed this wedge break. Great call out, but we were a little slow to it. And just to give a little quick lesson, this was our shift of the cloud. Let me give you that chain. Right, we've been under the cloud. We get the shift of cloud. We hit that trend line and pull back and hold. Boom, that's a really nice scalp entry back up towards VWAP in that 5-minute cloud. So I'll actually just throw that 5-minute on for a minute so we can look. All right, guys, let it start to turn. Let it start to create higher lows. Only here did it start to create these higher lows. Until then, it just kept trending down. It create higher lows and break. Finally turns, starts to shape up, break through some clouds. And this would have been a really nice scalp if we caught it in time. Would I enter on a break over VWAP? No, not initially. So another good lesson here, guys, is when something is running pretty hard. So, if this runs to VWAP, never take that initial break because it's either going to slow down before it and then break through it, or it's going to break through it and then pull back and give us a base entry. So generally, guys, when on a 1-minute chart and something starts to ramp like this, never really chase those highs. Because if you look back, at any day, you don't really have a move that just keeps going higher. There's always those little pullbacks. So, with trading options, you never really want to chase when it's pushing here. So again, ideally, I like to see it either pull back and give us a lower entry or just go sideways before breaking that next inflection point, which if we look here, team, is that 5-minute cloud and that VWAP. So we do have a tough upside range. Ideally for these trades, we want that tight risk reward where we broke out, but we'll keep watching it. And let me look at contracts. I never looked at contracts. So Tesla, guys, we could, we could continue here up towards 585 at least. Let me see here, guys. I'm going to look at these on another chart just to look at their price pattern behavior to see if they still have decent risk reward. So yeah, guys, if you like this week's, I'd focus on two 585s or 590s. Again, you don't want to invest too much per contract because they're gonna destroy them. So size down, and again, just kind of watching the setup for now. Yeah, Michael, absolutely, I can actually. That's a good conversation. So what I like to do, guys, and let me just get rid of SPX here so we can keep an eye on Tesla. When I look at options, guys, what I like to look at is, if this thing starts to actually pop, what's the risk reward we can expect? So this might seem like a cheap option, but if we can get it, in the 50-cent range, it has a very good likelihood of pushing to $1, which is going to be 100% return. So the option chart, guys, this is a really big hack, so pay attention. Option charts move like the stock. So you'll see it's also been downtrending and wedging. So if we expect Tesla to break this wedge and rally back up towards the middle of price action, the option is going to do the same exact thing. And so that gives us the ability to quickly, weigh risk reward here. Where if I can, get a pullback here and grab these at 50 cents and it just continues this wedge break, and I can double my money. And at worst, lose 50 cents a contract, which is pretty small. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Let me know if it does. And again, if you're not used to seeing this, you can watch option contracts on a chart, and they'll start to base like the name, and start to spike in volume as well. It's actually really interesting. So another thing here, guys, I want to be careful going along the rest of the session. We have just ran all day, and we just completed our zone to zone here on NQ, right to the 50-day moving average. We take a quick peek back at SPX. We still have not quite a bit, but we do have a significant amount here to fill that gap. So I'm not sure if we'll do that today. So let's see, guys. Tesla, again, want to be in here, so we'll keep watching this one. Karen, yes. So Karen asked, when option prices start to head up, is that an indication that price is going to move up? Yep. So Karen, what you'll notice, and not to throw too much at you guys, but options will often go up first, which is a big hack that a lot of people don't know about, where the option will start to gain in value as the stock is kind of basing, and that's like your indication that it's probably going to start to turn and pop. So I really like the way I have my active trader set up is I have a chart next to it, as I showed you guys in the video, so you can go back and check that out. I have the option chart right next to it, so I'm literally watching the premium move. So you'll see, just like a stock, guys, they'll hold a certain price in that premium, and you'll see it start to ramp higher. You'll see volume accumulate on the strike. It's very revealing. I recommend starting to mess around with that. And I'll continue to share a little more throughout these sessions. So let's see, guys. Again, it's going to be tough to get some upside trades here, and the market definitely doesn't look shortable. So we'll have to see what we're working with. Tom, can I share that flex grid? Yeah, I believe if you go into the alerts, guys, where Moose said my current workspace, that's this flex grid. Or Tom, you want the option flex grid? That is the that's in there as well, team. In the room drive. But I can share that as well. Give me 1 second, guys, and I will share that, and you'll see what I'm talking about here. So if you open this up, guys, this is my, this is on one of my monitors. This is where I just watch a few names, and I have my active traders, kind of locked and loaded and ready to go. Right now I have it linked. So you'll see the left grid has, 9 on the active trader, and the other has 8. So this way, as you learned in that video, if you just drag in your option, it'll plot it on the chart and pull it up for execution. So let's see here, guys. Again, I think it's going to be, I usually don't take too many trades in the afternoon, but let's look around here. Thoughts on Roku? Roku's kind of in a very messy range. Point of control above, it keeps just getting stuck at it. It's actually not bad if it gets back on the other side of 1 minute cloud. Not bad. Good call out. We'll keep an eye on this one. So as I mentioned, guys, right, we don't want to chase this because it's probably just going to consolidate underneath it before breaking out, or, it's going to pull back, or it's just going to break through it and then consolidate. So right now it's in that little consolidation phase. Let's see. So for Roku, guys, just again, I want to force any of these trades. I think the market could take a little drop here back towards 5-minute cloud. But for general rule of thumb, guys, focus on right at the money to end the session here if you want to use same day expire. So whatever name that we kind of find that would just focus on at the money. Rocky Roku. So again here, guys, I like some of these dip buys. Roku setting up nicely, Tesla setting up nicely, but the market looks like it's ready to pull back. This grind has just been a little too much. So want to be patient at the upside and very curious what happens the last hour of the week. It's been a wild week. Do they start to sell? Do they buy a lot to Friday? To the weekend? We're going to find out, team. Let me pull up tape, though. So we got Tesla slowly gearing up here. So if you guys are looking on a chart right now at the 590 call of Tesla, you'll see that it's flagging on a 1 minute. So these are things that options will do as well, is they'll reveal patterns and then break out of it. All right, so good pop here, team. Not going to take this entry, but this is starting to ramp nicely. This could be a good little push here. Watching the 590 calls. So as I mentioned, guys, these are quickly starting to explode. They're at 80 cents. So what I meant by, it can quickly double if it just starts to work out of this wedge, which it's doing nicely. Just need an entry, an ideal one. Tom, 600 pin on Tesla. Let me see if I zoom out a bit here. That seems high through high of day. Maybe up towards 586 would be ideal. Take a look, guys, at the bottom chart. We're starting to carve through that cloud, so starting to pick up momentum here. Really nice, nice wedge break. Wish we caught that a minute earlier. Great call out, though. So just to show you, team, I don't know what chart to change. I want to show the option premium moving. This is exactly what I meant by, if it quickly starts to move here, these can, go to a buck and double. Right? And they honestly trade like stocks where it made a cloud breakout. It's interesting. So again, this is the 590 call in its movement. So about from 50 cents quickly to a buck on this little scalp here. That's doubling your money, team. All right, so this sucker's getting away from us. If you guys see anything else setting up, let me know. But yeah, Benji, that happens fast. Another lesson, team, just don't chase, because you want to be the guy that's doubling his money, not buying it here and it pulls back and you lose 50% of your money. We got, an hour and a half here to find one of these, but this is how they move. Jim, now you see it, now you don't. Hey, Lauren, I got a piece. Let's go. All right, guys, I'm going to keep hunting here because this one is getting away from us. Let's see. Yep, Benji, I actually just saw Google here. So Google, team, still has point of control above. Really nice cloud retest here. Let me see, it's ATR. About a 50-point ATR. So we got a little left here. Market's still pushing, so Google could easily gravitate towards that magnet. Let's start to look at Google options. And man, what a nice Tesla scalp. Good stuff. All right, so decent strike, guys, is the 2280s on Google. Gonna start to observe these. They're in that cheaper range where they got a really good chance of doubling fast if Google just makes a move. All right, it can easily push to 2280. So if you look at a chain, guys, that's going from 80 cents to $5 if it moves. And wow, we're seeing just nothing but strength here. We truly might fill that gap. Just want to be a bit cautious, team. That's why I size down, be a bit picky. Some nice looking moves here. So does that make sense, guys, what I said on Tesla? Because, it did exactly what we're kind of anticipating. It was a little late to the show, but that's kind of the logic of picking options out of nowhere. Where it's like, okay, if Tesla makes this move, which is, what you can expect out of a wedge, the option can also. So that's going from 50 cents to $1. That's, 100% return. Very quick, math. AP on Google, watching the 2280s. So again, if they fall, they're going to go to zero fast. But if they move here, very quickly going to double. So just starting to observe these. We'll see, guys. We'd like to take another trade here before the market closes. Only need one. Excuse me. So I'm just going to get rid of this, guys, so we can continue to kind of hunt for setups here. Tom, sorry. I'm going to ignore SPX. It's just way too grindy. There's other setups that have good inflection points, etc. SPX just non-stop, so I don't want to buy into that premium, unfortunately. Roku looks decent here, guys. If it can get that cloud breakout, we'll keep an eye on this one. And again, see, these are secondary setups because they weren't really planned, so just keep that in mind. We're kind of just playing purely off technicals. All right, let's see, team. Again, just sizing up Roku here. Nothing yet. Taking a peek, guys, at the 315 calls. Another, quick double possible risk reward. Keeping a small eye on Google as well. Tesla grinding that 8 EMA nicely. Roku got some sellers here at 314 lined up, so that's right near that cloud. Google's looking decent here, guys. Keep paying attention to these two. We could start to get a little ramp here. I just really don't like the market being this extended. Yeah, and Lorna, that's impressive multitasking. I love it. I'll admit it's not the easiest job. But some of us are robots. So let's see here, team. Take a look at internals. We're kind of We're hitting some positive extremes, nothing crazy. ADD in the middle of nowhere. I know we haven't talked about this much, but I promise we will. So any other setups you guys think are looking good? I'm gonna flip around here on another chart, but we'll keep watching, Roku, Google, Tesla here. Yeah, Elroy, I actually just pulled up Amazon. It's Amazon looks great, guys. Starting to ramp off 5-minute cloud and also break a wedge. We could see a little weird rotation into tech here. And all right, I'm gonna move quick because Amazon looks ready to go. We're finding these 5 seconds too late. This is the problem, guys, with trying to find trades is if they're planned, it's easier. If you're watching them, you're usually ready for it. But if you take a look at Amazon on a 5-minute chart, it's starting to ramp off it nicely, team. Chris, that's the problem on Friday, especially end of day. Sometimes the spreads get a bit crazy. That's why I really don't recommend buying expensive contracts. More so something, reasonable where you're kind of okay with the drawdown. But if it does get going, you can make a really good percent return. All right, guys, gonna get rid of Tesla here and actually focus on Amazon because Amazon looks like a possible really good end of day trade. So see it starting to ramp here, team, kind of just like that Google setup we looked at, a few minutes ago off of the 5-minute cloud. Nice little downtrend here breaking. And again, this one's unfortunately kind of off to the races, but we'll see if we can get a pullback. Looking at the Amazon 3230 calls. Let's see, this looks like it's bound for high day. Tech looks like no stopping. Looking at the 3230 calls here, team. This week expire. And again, guys, they just pumped 60% on this little push, so let's try to fight for entry if we can. You guys are giving great call outs, just a second too late, too funny. All right, let's see, team. NQ just broke a big level. Again, zone to zone. Made its way, broke it. These are big inflection points. Wow, Amazon off to the races. Bill, right now, choosing strike price, I, again, focus on that risk reward method I just showed you guys. I focus on what has a lot of volume. So right now there's 10,000 on the 3230s. I focus on this price range, this $1 to $2 towards end of day. And I think we can easily, push through high of day here, and 3230 is pretty close. So it's just kind of a quick little analysis on option, premium, etc. I broke that down in the class and some nuggets here. All right, guys, we love a pullback on Amazon. Those premiums exploded. Google's aren't really moving that much. So that's important, guys, to watch the chart of the option. Damn, I took Roku off. What did it do, Elroy? Break that 1-minute cloud? Yeah, trying to here. All right, watch a little too much, guys, so we're going to dial in. Can't chase crap. Just got to kind of pick and live or die by it. So going to rock with Amazon here. So I really like this ramp. We got a big spike of volume. We just need a little pullback for an entry, hopefully. If you take a quick peek at SPX, it must be close to filling that gap, making its way. All right, Amazon, what do you got? So a little flag here, guys. Max pain is 32.30. So we thinking pin. Let's go Lorna 32.35 is nice. Yeah, those 32.30s doubled fast in that push. Waiting for a little pullback here. Man, this market, what a day. What a comeback. My God. We're going to have to review this one, guys, because this was from a big picture standpoint, this was big. This is a big move today. Tech up 2.2%, ES up 1.6, YM up 1.2. What a day. Elroy, we got Rocky steady through that 1 minute cloud. Just looking at that another screen for you. We got a few extra eyes on it. And Albion, I actually don't use Max Pain, so I'll let hopefully someone in here explain that. But I do know it revolves around the most, what Tom just said. And if you take that, market makers will usually get it to that place where most people lose. So it kind of creates a pinning action of price. And it's just a possibility. What do we got, guys? A boom on Tesla? I hate to keep jumping around here. Oh, wow. Tesla's gone. Yeah, geez. Yeah, another phenomenal setup, guys. Again, we weren't really prepared for these, so we're kind of chasing them, and unfortunately, a little slow, but hopefully we're learning from those setups because, wow, Tesla, goodbye. I'm not even going to look at those options. Nice, Danny. Good stuff. One of these weird sessions, guys, are we're just grinding higher, not getting really good entries right now at all. And, with it being the last hour here, need to be very picky on 0-day entries, or you're just asking for it. Benji, exit early. Yeah, man. Last hour here. Definitely get your piece, guys, in these scalps. But I hope we're all seeing the power here. Just, very precise, quick entries. Those percents, boom. And man, Tesla, what a move. Tom, ideally, man. Ideally, we need a little pullback. And yeah, AFD, good lessons. Can't watch too much, guys. All you need is you're better off waiting on just the names that you're watching for them to set up because they're all going to set up, guys. You could have picked Tesla and waited all day for that one moment. You can 3x your money. So really don't let whatever it is get to you. Focus on just your setups and waiting. Because again, as you can see, we're kind of chasing crap and missing crap. So it's like if you just sat there and waited for your name to set up, it most likely will. Mark, if I were to leave you with 2 or 3 things for homework for the weekend, what would they be? I love that question. So the first thing I would do, guys, is go back and watch, at least the first half of today. The first half of today was just jam-packed with value. The second half here, hopefully there's some value, guys, but a little bit slower paced because, again, the days kind of unfolded. But this morning was really, really good. So, I'd go back. I would watch that. If you haven't, I would watch the class for sure. And then 3 is I would start to do a little prep. Do a little prep, guys. Get some levels so we can link up on Monday and kind of compare. I'm gonna post some thoughts in here on Sunday to give you guys a little bit to chew on. So between those 2 or 3 things, should have plenty of homework to keep you busy. Gusto, double Tesla. Let's go, my friend. Super proud of you guys. This is awesome. Yeah, DPS. I'll last few minutes of the live, guys. I'll do some. I don't want to do weekend prep quite yet, but we'll look at I'll give you a few names to prep. Puma made 3K, lost 3K, but learning was very valuable. Thanks. Head up, my friend. Paying tuition, as long as you learned, you'll be good. You did it once, you can do it twice. And Artful, I'll share that. I'll give you guys my main watch list, which has my focus list, and if you guys want to flip through that for the week, that's what I'll be prepping on. Yeah, Rainbow, I'll do that. I'll kind of find what I'm going to be watching, and I'll give you guys like 5 charts to kind of start to look through. Yep, Sonar, I'll post them in here. My God, this market is just ramping. So never a good entry here, guys, on Amazon. It just kind of grinds higher. No, Sandy. I actually removed the Theo line, and I can show you how, because it won't go away. It's really annoying. The Theo price is kind of useless. Lorna, good stuff. Good stuff. Quick double Rooney. As you might see, team, like there's so many of them. It's a really amazing blessing where it's like, wow, right there you could have doubled your money. Right there, Tesla, Amazon, Roku. It could be a little overwhelming, but let it be more exciting. So again, guys, never chase. Always wait for that. That's why I like Amazon right now. I'm not gonna buy this, guys. It's just it already did what I wanted. So again, there's gonna be another one and another one and another one. But if I buy this here and it just drops, I'm just gonna slowly blow my account. So I hope that makes sense, guys. Once you know this skill set, you know where to look for. I promise, and as you're seeing, these setups happen left and right. Artful, I like that. Yeah, that's why scalping's huge. If you got other strategies, you got just setups on, you just scalp around them, man. And you forget about the positions you even have on because you're just scalping so well, creating income, and even paying for those trades you have on. Man, what a good push off that 5-minute cloud. A lot of great trades here. It was just a little slow to them. I have one rule, guys. I have plenty of rules, but one rule that I have when I miss a trade, and I think I learned this from John. It's okay to miss, but it's not okay to chase. So again, if I miss it, I'll be okay. But if I chase, I'm going to be mad at myself. That's a rule that I've tried to live by. So again, like Amazon here, I want it right here, guys, not right here. So it's like, it's okay to miss it, but it's not okay to be like, all right, I'm going to buy it here. Don't sell myself on that. John, so I usually start about 10 minutes before schedule. If everyone's okay with it, maybe we'll start right at top of the hour, so 30 minutes before open. Just because I would like a little more time to talk to you guys and prep, and I don't mind putting in the extra work. because I'm sitting here anyway, so I'm here to help. But yeah, team. So plan for 8 Central. We'll get going on Monday. All right, everyone looks down for it. No one can complain about a little extra. Yeah, Westy, absolutely. We'll probably yeah, Lauren, is that actually okay? I don't want to make any promises. Yeah, we'll wait till we get a double thumbs up, guys. But yeah, I just want to make sure everyone's on the same page because you're right, Westy. We want some consistency, not like, oh, we'll start blank. But I'm more than happy to committing to starting at 8 Central if we can, get that approved and pushed out to everybody. Because kind of like this morning, a little rush, and I started 10 minutes early. So another 10 minutes, I think we'll be good to go. Thanks for the heart pounding day. Right? It can make that heart pound. And yeah, Lorna, absolutely. Just get back to me on that. I'm sure you guys will get aware. Oh man, wow, this market is non-stop. Take a look at SPX. We just it wants to fill the gap. If you look here, team, at ES, we've taken a point of control journey today. We went from our current point of control to where it was a few days ago to last month's point of control. Just liquidity, liquidity, liquidity. Pretty crazy grind today. Wow. Yep, Martin, absolutely. I promise, guys, we're gonna drill all of this stuff over and over and over. 4 hours a day, we'll get plenty of the same stuff talked about. Man, miss this Amazon one. That stinks. So again, team, really want to drill in here the power of a good entry, and then using these things to just keep you in the trade. So there's really not a good entry up here, but it's a great way to just kind of hang on to that trade. And these options are at $1 to almost $3 on this little push here. Let's go, Vlad, my man. In at 1.8, out at 2.6. Boom. Heather, 40% Amazon. I love it. You guys are quicker than me. Jeez. Maybe I'm just multitasking too much. Keith, 110% Amazon. Let's go. Carol, no. So if I was in Amazon, guys, I would keep grinding it here, and I would probably cut it below the 8. On a Friday end of day, you want to keep it tight so that, remember from the training, the 8 is the tightest. So as long as it holds this, it's going to continue higher. As soon as it breaks that 8, it's going to kind of chop around and find its feet. So if you're in this, guys, I would consider selling its momentum, but let it grind. But as soon as it starts to slow down with 0 days, be careful because they'll drop it $1, unfortunately. So premium just hit 3 from $1. So I'd look to manage it a bit and just be ready. Sheesh, you guys are doing amazing in the chat. Let's go. Old man Chan can't keep up. Created some savages quickly. Let's go, team. And for all my friends not in a trade, I embrace the FOMO. It'll make you better, I promise. But wow. Tesla guys up towards highs, Roku ripping that cloud, Amazon ripping off this 5-minute. Keith, right? Yeah, Tom, great call out, man. Maybe gets that pin. What a beast turnaround for Tesla. Oh, you guys are killing it. 45% Amazon. Kai, about 100% on Google. Oh, man. So regardless, guys, if you're taking these or not, are they making sense, right? When we can review all of them that we just found, we can review Amazon, Tesla, Roku. Want to make sure these are just sticking because these happen, guys, all the time. Whether I'm hitting them, you're hitting them. This is the system, and this is what you guys want to, get obsessed about. Man, right to that point of control, team. Point of control is by far one of my favorite indicators. And remember, you want to keep last month's. That's why I make it dotted, just a reference point. GMS, yeah, great reminder. That's why, trying to be unemotional, good or bad. One good trade, one good trade. Just follow your rules. Moose, yeah, sure, bro. Absolutely. We can just do the, 30-minute marks. AP, do you always have 1 minute, 5 minute on a stock when identify and watch? Yes, typically, guys. That's the money maker for intraday. 1 minute, 5 minute, combine the indicators that you learned on both, and you're gonna be good to go. So again, we're gonna review this in a minute here, team. But we get the cloud crossover in the 1 minute, and we get the 5 minute cloud hold right at VWAP. You get the ramp. Combining these two time frames is where it's money. Trip. Point of control equals point of profit. And yeah, team, still an hour to go. So again, let's wait for another pitch here. We had plenty. Let it come to you. I'm really gonna drill in patience, guys, in this system. That's the two things I want to make sure you walk away with. Because again, team, when you hit it where you should, it takes care of itself. But when you get in where you don't, options can be very mean. But I want to show you how to be on the friendly side. But be careful here, team. We have just ran way too much. We're well above the ETR. Beautiful day for the market, and we stopped right at that key level. So again, team, just zone to zone. As long as it holds above 4160, can go to the next zone. If for some reason we break through here, guys, I got another zone ahead. Some reason we want to keep going, I'm ready. That's the thing about these zones, team, is you get a map, and like I talked about with a few rules, you just keep following it, and you never know what the market's going to pull out. JP, congrats, my friend. And yeah, Tom, you nailed it. The power hour flush. Combine that with a key level. Perfect timing. I get a weird feeling we might hit this 1 minute cloud, fill that gap, and then sell off. Let's go G Money, 65% on Tesla. Congrats, my friend. And we're going to review these guys because Tesla went right to pre-market HOD, which was a phenomenal level I had on my chart. So again, zone to zone, inflection point to inflection point. All right, guys, let's just keep paying attention here, and then we'll start to talk about these setups. Elio out of Amazon, 100%. Let's go. So again, guys, right, grind it and then it starts to break. If looking at the premium, it went from about $3 to almost $2, right here. That's why you do want to, get your piece end of day. AFD, anything on Square? Let's take a peek. Oh man, what a beautiful hold here, guys, on Square. Remember, the cloud is so powerful, team, because it's taking in information all day and it's giving you that forward projection. So it's like when it gives you this thick base here and then VWAP lines with it and you can get a play to it. This isn't something you can plan for, but it's just knowing, how the system works. So again, if you're just watching Square and it's doing nothing and it starts to pull back, boom, beautiful little trade here. But as of now, guys, no, probably nothing else on Square. It's up, 5.5%. So Just let that one go for now. Wow. Look who made it. Guys, I've been trading for years, and point of control still blows my mind. It's it's unreal. Right to it. Sometimes, guys, that magnet is literally just that strong, where it'll just grind to it all day. Yes, grinds towards it all day. Scary. Yeah, Elroy, that was a trade of the day if you held. These 560s guys went from 50 cents to almost 12 bucks. Phew. Crazy. Crazy game we play, my friends. And that's why I absolutely love, my system, and I'm, so honored to share it, because this is just a basic move for NVIDIA back to point of control. They're not going to talk about this on the news, but it's like you can literally change your life on that trade. That's what's awesome about options. Rainbow, have you messed with weekly point of control? How did you settle on monthly? Yeah, so I did mess around with, daily, monthly, and weekly. And I really just came to become obsessed with that monthly point of control, because we go back and forth to it so often. And it's such, a big level that really doesn't move much, but we go to it a lot. So I do reference the weekly, but they just move a little too much for me. However, I do use some key levels that line up with weekly points of controls. Like, for example, here, I believe NVIDIA, this 550, yeah, it's weekly point of control because I color coded it. So if you look, guys, and you don't have this on yours, but the point of control I have here also has the weekly marked on it, which is that red line. And again, if you look at a chart, sometimes you don't need point of control to identify these things. You just want to identify inflection points, right? Look how much action happened here at 550. So that's why we had this zone here today, team. It's an inflection point, and it's a good liquidity spot with that weekly point of control. And again, looking to play it back up to monthly point of control. So to answer that question, Rainbow, yes, I do mess around with weekly, but monthly is the go-to, but that weekly can serve an amazing purpose, just like today, where again, this zone was because of this big inflection point and because it was that weekly point of control. And then again, I didn't take this trade, but the magic of it, team, is if you can actually get that entry at it, catch this higher low and then follow rules, you're just getting out, which is scary. Now, again, it's hard to hold this long, team, but it gets easier. Even I'm still working on holding that long. But yeah, I hope that answers that question. It can be a very powerful level. And finally here, guys, looks like we ran into some much needed selling. Yeah, Heather, the second half sessions are definitely going to be a bit slower. Opening drive is a lot more chaotic, rather, where we have time to actually digest things second half. Bill, to clarify, you find your initial point of control at the 10-day, 30-minute. Yes, sir. And I just mark that on the chart, and I move on. And I look at it about once a day. Mario, so I personally just took a small trade in snow this morning. I didn't get filled on the size that I wanted. I got filled on actually very small quantity, so I didn't make much money today, but it was a good trade. Got a little piece of it, and it ended up being a big, big winner. And then didn't hit anything here second half, unfortunately. So a little quiet day on my end, but it seems like everyone in here is doing really well, which makes me really happy. Zayad, shop. Let's take a peek at shop. So shop, kind of a slow grinder here today. Doesn't really look like it's having a day, or it's really setting up to do much here, my friend. So yeah, not much to say on shop. Kind of in the middle of nowhere. Kind of far away from really big inflection points. Kind of just stuck in between. Puma, will you buy puts if below the 21 moving average and but above cloud on Tesla? So I probably wouldn't buy puts to begin with. Like I mentioned earlier, guys, you kind of want to dictate the trend for the day and then play in that direction. It becomes very hard to, buy calls, buy puts, buy calls, buy puts. It's often, recognize the trend and then, look for good entries. So you technically could short Tesla off a pre-market HUD. It failed right there and pulled back. I just personally like to, play with the wind. So I'll take a look at it in a minute, but just be careful shorting here, guys. We've had a very strong day. So we don't really have to go lower. We might just go sideways for a bit. Michelle, coin. Let's see. Coin. Coin, guys, had some news this morning, and yeah, they had some good upgrades, but it's actually because they got upgraded. Excuse me, they reported earnings. So I ignored this one today, and it looks like it's just kind of chopping on point of control. So I usually let names, guys, after they report earnings, kind of figure themselves out. So not many thoughts here on coin. I'll take a fresh look this weekend because they are at some good levels, but all right. So let's see, team. Happy Power Hour. Again, not sure if there'll be any good trades here. There's been a plenty today, so we had our fair share. But let's keep looking around. Wow, we've held that 5-minute mean all day. So again, guys, there's going to be a little pullback to just, chop in place the last hour. Be very careful shorting, a monster move. Same thing with NQ here, holding that mean. And let me know, team, just curious real quick, do you guys like this layout for my charts? I want to find a happy balance of not watching too much, but also being able to, have enough where we can execute off of, one screen together. Yes? Okay, awesome. Because, yeah, guys, I don't want to put too much on it, but I think, this basic chart layout gives us enough. So awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, cool. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, Steven, just a question. If you get a moment, any chance that you could do a quick 1-minute overview on drawing sets? I'd love to get a quick sense of what you put in each. Thanks. Yeah, absolutely, my friend. So let me just keep watching you guys for a minute, though. I'd be interested in a cheap Amazon off this 1-minute cloud potentially for one more little rally. Well, we might be pushing our luck. Sam, to drag your chart with a click, you need to put on the little hand emoji, not emoji, tool. So if you go down here to tools, it's the pan hand, and that allows you to drag your chart around. The only thing I don't like about it, Sam, is you can't drag when it's in a zone. So you got to kind of find those sections you can drag on. Recon, how to select the cloud, selecting the cloud and toss. So if you have toss, my friend, you should just be able to download it, straight from the link in there. But if you want to select it, you just go to indicators and type in Ichimoku. So that would be this little test tube up here. And then you just search Ichimoku. And I did a video kind of breaking down the settings if you want to set it up. All right, team, I'm going to be mindful of time here because I do want to make sure that we cover Amazon and Tesla. Just to, again, drive home these setups. Gem, QQQ has come down to 3/8 here on the 1 minute. Entry, could you explain yes or no? On QQQ, so I'm not watching QQQ, but NQ is the same thing here. The way I'm seeing it, I don't look at the ATR on the 1 minute chart, but I know what 3 ATR means. So yeah, a little downside exhaustion. I would just look for it to kind of base here, get back above the 8 EMA and kind of get that trampoline, a little push off it. If not, I think we just kind of chop in place or go test that zone again. But it's really going to depend on what happens with, the tech names such as Amazon. So let's see here, guys. Going to continue to watch Amazon a bit. Starting at a little possible ramp here off 1 minute cloud. Going to shift to the 32.35 calls on Amazon. Yeah, Mario. So go back, my friend, listen to the cloud section of the class, but it's so powerful because it gives us a forward projection of trend and key levels. The thickness of the cloud tells you a lot. It's just one of those amazing indicators that takes in so much information and gives us, a very clear story and usage once you know about it. So that's what's really magical about it is, right here is it giving me a forward projected support. So, oftentimes I'll wait for us to reach it and it'll pop right off. Like we're going to cover a few great examples where nothing happens until we actually reach those clouds. So their inflection points, their trend gauges, they're just amazing. I love them for day trading. So DB, the red and the green borders on the cloud are simply just it's projection here. So when green's on top, it's bullish. It'll actually start to twist when it gives you, a different projection. So again, right here, guys, Amazon was kind of chopping, and then it started to give us a forward projection. And then as we continue higher, it continues to build. And then it gives us the cloud. So as we near the cloud, we first want to look to be bullish. Or if it breaks below it, then we're good to go. So I wouldn't focus too much on the actual color. Just if price is above, we're bullish. Below, we're bearish. And each line is kind of support and resistance. AFD, then yeah, we'll do that, my friend. Thank you. We'll save the review, guys, for after, if you don't mind. I'll just, it won't take long. But if things are choppy here, we'll slowly start it. But I agree, because I want to hit Amazon. So let's see here, team. This market looks super, super strong. Starting to eye Amazon here. Ideally would like it right at that cloud, but we'll keep an eye on it if it just starts to go here. All right, team. It is looking ready to go. Get some good sellers on the tape, though. 7 on the ask on Amazon is a big deal. Michael, I'll try to fit that conversation in. We'll do it a bit later here. I want to see if we can get one more good opportunity. I'll be super picky though, guys. 0 days are about to explode for the good or the bad. So make sure if you do play, you're playing with profits or small money. Nice, Rick. Let's go. Yeah, I could do that Monday. If you guys want, instead of tape, I can pull in an active trader just to kind of show it to you live as well. So we'll definitely we'll fit that in. Hey, Jim. Jim. We're focusing on this week's expire. So today's expire. We're playing with little hand grenades here. Robert, can we trade Amazon the last hour? Yep. Again, guys, excuse me. You have to just accept the risk. Understand that they're going to move very strong, and they're either we need it to move, or they're just gonna slowly decline in value. So, and wow, Tesla. I think Tom nailed the pin. Wow, 19 on the ask here, guys, on Amazon at 32.25. See if we can get through this key level here, 32.25. That's big on the tape. Right, that's 19 times 100 times the price. That's how much they want to get through here. So right at it, we got to get rid of this 19. Oh, I would love a pullback towards cloud here first. But watch that level, guys. We want to see that 19 start to diminish. That means they're taking some of the orders. Keep watching this 19 right here. That's right where we stop. So remember the tape reading video. We stop at levels for a specific reason, because there's a wall of sellers. And I just did the math, guys. That is 6.1 million in one order holding us back here. Maybe it's Jeffrey. So again, team, this is why tape is so important. When it starts to rally, you don't want to, take that high day breakout until the wall is gone. You shall not pass. Bezos said enough is enough. So let's pay attention here, team. We got to start to get some prints. We got to start to actually take away that order. And what we're going to see on the tape here is that go to 18 and some of it filled. Or we're never going to get through it. And that's high of day. Right now, focusing on the 32.35s on Amazon. Very cheap little hand grenades here, team. Oh man, this guy will not budge. So remember, guys, from the training, we need buyers. We need enough to conquer this. And he just raised his size to 21. Add a few million in there. Now, again, guys, this is what sets up huge breakouts. So if we can actually hold up here, then get through that, we might rip to the top of this key zone. We just got to be very careful at these highs. So again, team, I'm looking at the 32.35 calls on Amazon. They're about $1 right now. Just want to play with small size, guys. Don't ruin your day here. And again, these are very risky trades being at high a day. But let's keep paying attention to this wall, because this is a great example of tape reading. Live and direct. Yeah, Benji, right? It is pretty exciting. It's I call it my favorite game on earth. It's just a game. Man, is it fun. Yeah, Jim, they're gonna move fast. Right now it's at 1. Again, if you guys look at the chart, you'll see the movement in the price. But if it just pops here, they're gonna double your money. So notice, team, I mentioned this in the tape reading video. See how that seller is off of the tape? They really show up when they need to. So they don't just keep their orders there. So we need to pay attention as we start to near it. Right now there's a 7 sitting there, but the 21 is a much bigger beast. Oh man, I'm already super excited for Monday. This has been great, guys. I hope you're enjoying it as much as I am. All right, little pullback here. It's holding nicely that 8. We don't got that big seller on the tape. Oh, there he is. I told you they show the last second. That's why you need to watch the tape. Again, rejected. So if we do break through that, we need to make sure that he is filled, that he got cleared, and he didn't just take his order off to let people in and then slam them right through it. So we'll keep watching here, team. Yeah, Mario, we'll talk about homework. Man, he is just sitting here. Get ready, guys. I'm going to have just a huge algo pop through it. I don't recommend front running it because it can also just get destroyed. So we can just watch it for fun here, team. I am ready to execute on it, but I wouldn't front run it necessarily. And yeah, Ken, I'm going to look to play it if it breaks through strength, if we can get, bids to hold, and if everything, at the moment makes sense. So for now, just observing. But open-minded for a little shot here. Mark, 6.75 million. Yeah, we got some whale on the tape. Little do we know, JC's in the other room selling Amazon. So Anil, you want to take 21, times it by 100, and then times it by the price. And that's going to show you that exact order size. So the 21 is the ask size. But if you go back and watch the tape video, it requires, timesing it by 100. So this isn't 1, it's 100 shares of this price. So if you do the math of where he's sitting, so I'll just do it with you guys. Right, he had 21 ask size. So that really is asking to buy 2,100 shares of Amazon at $32.25. So he's trying to sell $6.7 million worth. In BC, it disappears because it's such a large order that they don't keep it out there. They don't necessarily want to be seen until they have to. It's kind of like fishing, guys, right? Yeah. You don't always want the bait just sitting out there all day. People will be like, they'll just avoid you. But that's why they show up at the last second. That's why tape reading, is important for moves, because you'll see that just big wall pop up. Like we were watching Amazon, and right away I saw that ask size, and you kind of, halt the brakes. Evan, good question. Why didn't that guy route the order through a dark pool? To be honest, it's not large enough. Dark pools are massive. So I just don't think he qualifies. Dan, how do I know it's not spoofing? I don't. That's why we always want to confirm, my friend. But the fact it stopped right there, we're going to pay attention to it. So yeah, it could be spoofing. But if we get through it, show goes on. But for now, they're continuing to show up. And so again, we're just, flagging here, guys, giving a little, downside wedge to maybe break out of. Maybe we near the cloud. Patience, patience. We're just collecting information. Uh, can you see further out if you make the tape larger? So no, guys, right here is, where the current price will be. And yeah, you can scroll down, see where size is sitting. But again, they're not going to just put massive orders out there. It's just going to be, very small size. So usually, right here is where to focus on. Evan, oddly enough, man, I rhyme a lot by accident. Maybe if this doesn't work out, I'll just be a rapper. Lyrically inclined. Yeah, thug life, Heather. I trade SPX 0 days. I can do anything. So again, guys, let's just wait and see. Wait and see. Those options are just hovering around, 80 cents, a buck. They're gonna explode if this actually gets through. Mario, where are you looking at for stop and no entry? If it breaks below 21 or all the way down to cloud top? So ideally, my friend, if we don't get a push to cloud for entry, I would risk probably right back below here. So really gonna, watch this little downside wedge and see. I hate to front run it because we might just pop and get stuffed here. So gonna kind of have to play this one by ear. Where if we can actually get a cloud bounce, I would love to take that and then give it a shot to go test this level. But right now, not looking that good, tier team. We're finally starting our first downtrend in the other way. So just like I taught you guys with higher lows, we also have, lower highs where now we're actually starting to trend down. So we are slowly topping out. So I'm not in a rush here to buy calls. And again, team, this was actually an amazing lesson on tape reading. I really glad we got to catch that one live together. Because that's the difference, you just buy it not knowing there is a monster order sitting there. It's like you might want to wait to see if we can get through that. Because if not, it's just extreme selling pressure. Yeah, Tom. That's why I would play this week's if you do want to play Amazon. Next week's are 34 bucks. These are 63 cents. Quite the difference. So we're getting our first test here of the 21 EMA. Again, we've kind of held it all day, team. Last test we held. So this is a nice little pivotal point here for the market. If you take a look, it's on ES and NQ. So they often work together where if they both break below, they're probably going to go to the 5-minute cloud. And inflection points can stop that journey. But if it breaks here and breaks here, we're probably going to head to the cloud, which will be our first test all day since open. Crazy trend. Jim, I'm glad you brought that up. Why is my level 2 quite fast? So I got a twin turbo kit on it. One thing, guys, you gotta go into your settings on the Thinkorswim, and I can show you how to do that when the bell closes. And it actually is set on a delay, believe it or not. So you have to actually fix that to no delay, and your tape will fly like mine. So I could, say it right now, or I can show you in a minute. But if you go to your main screen and you click Setup, and then Application Settings, and then go down to System. So it's going to look like this, guys. If you can find this user setup, go down to System, Quote Speed. It comes standard, guys, on a moderate delay on Thinkorswim. So your charts will be slower. Everything will be slower. If your computer can handle it, I recommend real-time, no delay. So Amazon team holding that cloud. We're in a fight here, which might lead us into the end of the day. Mulder, do I trust Mock? It depends. Depends the source of Mock, and it depends the number. I like Mock to be at least 1 billion. When Mach is at least a billion, 2 billion, that's when we get significant moves that you can actually capitalize on. During COVID, the Machs were massive, and I actually traded all of them. I would front run them, unfortunately. Not proud of it, but it was working so well. Michael, Mach is called market on close. You guys should actually Google this term from Investopedia. MOC, market on close. It's a massive, massive order that comes in at once at the final 10-minute mark. So that 350 candle for Eastern time, and it's either a really big buy or a really big sell, and it can often lead into a few minutes of sustainable price action. So for example, you'll see Mach 2.5 billion to buy, and thank you, Lorna. So I hope that makes sense. It's not always accurate. Most of the time, it does absolutely nothing, but it is good information. We don't have today's yet, Chris. It's gonna come at for my time, guys, 350. So I'll see if we can get any rumors. Yeah, Chris, it's actually crazy, man. I didn't know it was set on a lag either. The day I found out, I was like, wow, I am getting robbed. So I changed it immediately. And you don't have to refresh. It'll just update. All right, so we got some information here. Lee says Mach 386 million sell. And yep, it'll change, guys. And that does nothing. So again, 300 million is a lot of money, but it's absolutely nothing when it comes to moving stocks. So that's not going to do anything. A little scary. That doesn't do anything, but that's just the name of the game. So again, team, we break that mean. We just kind of start the downtrend here. I really don't have an interest in trying to short this market. So just personally going to let it go a bit lower. But nice little grind down here. Tom, why is NDX and SPX load so much slower than regular stocks and futures? Anyone else experience this problem? Yeah, SPX could be a little weird, Tom. It doesn't have its own volume. It's kind of tracking, SPY and QQQ, ES and NQ. So that's why it is a little weird. It does tick around a bit. That's why I personally watch ES. That's why I chart ES, etc. And wow, snow is still going. Man, oh man. So there's a great example, guys, of avoiding a false breakout. Everyone celebrates the wins, but no one celebrates, staying out of trouble. And I think, we deserve to celebrate that. And it comes down to, again, just the skill set, team. And that was reading the tape, where we had a nice little level here. So obviously we want to pay attention to it. That's high of day. So as we pull back and we start to base and near it, we want to pay attention. And then boom, we get rejected and we recognize what is actually holding us back. So now again, we don't force trades. We wait and see. Do we hold 1 minute cloud? Nope. So it's probably over. So again, guys, reading the tape, one, helps you confirm that the buyers or sellers that are needed for your move to happen are there. And then two, does the flip side, and it keeps you out of trouble, right? So don't take that Amazon knowing there's a massive sell order and it's going to take a lot to get through. If and when we do, that is our trade. That is our inflection. Milo, would I go back to Amazon 3230s now? Yes. So yeah, as it starts to go lower, guys, you want to, that's a good, good job there, Milo. Yeah, you want to slowly, raise your strike. Lee, I just saw your comment. Do you 1 second perhaps is better? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know that. Yeah, guys, test it out. I mean, I use real time and it works for me. Maybe there is a better alternative, but it's better than the delay that it comes set on. So I would play with it. All right, guys, let's see. Let's probably no trades to be had here, guys, the last 30 minutes, so more than happy to answer any questions. And again, just here to teach, team, so pick my brain. But really not going to force anything in the last few minutes. We had, an amazing day of opportunities. I myself didn't capitalize on much, so not going to force anything, here. Sandy, when do you use RAF? So I use RAF, guys, on a bigger picture time frame mainly. I like to use it as a sense of exhaustion above or below. That's really when I use it. And yeah, guys, let me show you. Let me show you how to set up the moderate delay. So if you go to your main screen, guys, in the Thinkorswim, the one that shows, connected real-time data, your account, etc. You want to go up to Setup here. And if you click Setup, you want to go to Application Settings. If you go to Application Settings, you then want to go to System. And this is where, guys, you want to play with it. So, it usually comes on the 3-second delay. So if we just, let me go to 1 minute chart here. So you'll see, team, this is normally what it looks like. If we pull up the tape, things are just slowly and steadily coming through as price action comes through. But if you change it to the delay, or what it's usually on, unfortunately, right? I don't know if you'll be able to see it, guys, but it's just literally going to give you a 3-second delay. So I personally keep it on real time. Like Lee said, this is something I'll test, but maybe 1 second's better. So you could try both, guys, just not not a 3-second delay. So right up there in the setup, application settings, and then system. Ray, how and why do you use the volume bars in your chart? So the why, my friend, is to confirm, that we have good pops. So like right here, and we can start to dig into these trade reviews. Right when it gets that 5-minute cloud, so the 1-minute cloud breakout where we were looking for it to ramp, I really like that big pop in volume. That's big confirmation that the moves could continue, right? That there's buyers there. Just like here, if we broke through there with strong volume, that means we wipe that seller. So volume gives you a really good sense, guys, of when to stay out of trouble and when to, play with momentum, right? Scalping is a lot about momentum. So you want to make sure that there is, volume. And the how is by just, adding volume. It should be on there anyway. But that's how I use it, guys. Bill, if you're in a trade at expiration, would you let it expire or get out? If you're holding a loser, Bill, and it's worthless, I just let it expire. If you're holding a winner, I would get out because you don't want to get assigned if you're in the money. What is extended hours and how do you set it up? So extended hours, guys, is what shows you the pre-market and after-hours sessions for any name or index. And the way to set it up is simply by going to the chart settings here on any chart. It's going to pull up your chart settings. You want to go to equities and then go down here where it says show extended hours trading. Make sure you have it marked. And I personally like to have it highlighted. So you'll see right here, it's showing you where Google is going to close. So again, if I go back here, team, this morning, right, that was the pre-market, and then it opens. So the shaded session is, pre-market, and then, after hours. And then again, if you want it on futures, you just do the same setup here. Make sure it's checked on. Rayon, what's up, my friend? Struggling to copy your setup on Active Trader. Do you happen to have any tutorials for interactive brokers? Unfortunately, I do not, not a personal one, but I actually have really good news for you. I'm in the process of wiring money out of my Thinkorswim account and into Interactive Brokers. So I'll actually be setting up there and doing the diligence and research to figure that out. So I'll make sure to, 100% share that with you guys. So yeah, actually, yeah, it seems like you guys like that. I'll add it to the list. But that's actually something I'm in the process of doing is testing out Interactive Brokers. TD, TradeStation has 24 hours in addition to extended hours. Would that make any difference? I'm not sure what 24, H is. If it's showing you extended hours and you're good to go. If it's not, then it might be something you need to turn on or unlock, but you should be able to, visually see it. Just go back and see, did it have a pre-market? All right, guys. So again, there's really not going to be much to do here for the last 15 minutes. So I guess we can just start to talk about, those few key setups that unfolded because again, I really want to help you guys see these. I like to call them, playbook them. This is your business. These are the things I want to look for over and over and over. Rod, I'm actually going to continue to chart on Thinkorswim, but I'm going to start executing on Interactive Brokers. I actually had some trouble this week and actually some pain because of Thinkorswim. So I'm just going to test Interactive Brokers. Deepak, do I refer any books to you guys? I mean, I can. I can share with you guys after the bell, my few favorite books, both trading and just personal growth if you're interested. Still in it. Let's say, Chan, when we were waiting for Amazon to teeter, 14,000 bots slid down on the tape, but price didn't budge. Why was this? Just more sellers, my friend. It's actually crazy the fight that happens underneath the surface if you're watching tape. There can be big buyers, but there are even bigger sellers. And, sometimes it just won't budge. Snow 320 is now at 10. Come on, Brent. I'm trying to have a good weekend, man. But Susan, yeah, let me dig into some of these questions, guys, because we're not going to trade here, so all about value. Can you talk about an overview of drawing sets? A quick sense of what I put in each. Yep. So for each drawing set, guys, I usually have 3 of them. And let me just show you what I have. So typically, guys, what I have for each drawing set is 1, the current levels that I'm focusing on. So I call it my current drawing set. And right now I lied to myself and called it clean, but I usually call it something, like main, war, whatever you want to call it. Second thing I always have, guys, is a clean drawing set. So again, I lied to myself, but I'll have a clear one. This is so I can, just look at clean price, look at clean indicators, have nothing marked up. And then usually, guys, I'll have a third drawing set, which will be the prior one that I've been using in the past. And the reason that I keep that is because I want to cross-reference the zones that I made. Because sometimes, guys, a prior zone will literally play out over and over and over. I've actually had some old drawing sets where, not in this current market, but, a few years ago, we would come back to them, 6 months later, and that exact zone would hold. So again, I like my current drawing set. So that's, this one here. I like a clean one, just so we can reference clean. Always want to clean. And then I have the old one. So again, I can just cross-reference, old point of controls, old key levels, et cetera, et cetera. This really helps you kind of prep where I, for this weekend, for example, I'm going to take the drawing set that I've been using and start a fresh one. And so again, I'm going to kind of get rid of this one, cross-reference the one that I've built and used, and start a fresh one. So I hope that helps answer that, guys. Just a little method to my madness. And again, I recommend naming them so you know which one to use when it's time to go. Jim, I know this is this week's options, but could you explain again which option you use, at the money or OTM? So in the class, my friend, I went into that into detail, so make sure you check that out. But I generally focus on slightly OTM. So slightly out of the money that offers good risk reward. So that's teaches you how to analyze the chain. I kind of cover that in the class as well. And then something that's realistic, right? So I want to play something that actually, can get reached. So, for Google here, you wouldn't want to play the 2350s. We're not ever going to get there today. But to play today, anything in this range, that's where I would focus on. And the logic behind it is because those cheapies explode, like I've hopefully shown you guys. Amazon, are you going to give us a little shot here? It's still just a downtrending team. Paul, I would love to use Tastyworks Active Trader. The only problem is they don't allow it on options yet. So I know, JC's working with them. Maybe we can pull to get that happening. That'd be amazing because I actually really like Tastyworks. So let's pay attention here, guys. Again, I don't really like to recommend trading 0 days with 10 minutes left, but there could be some cheap crap that absolutely explodes. Karen, for the old ones with prior levels in this week's chart that becomes the old one, do you replace or combine? Karen, you can keep as many as you need, but for the most part, if something becomes, 2 or 3 weeks old, I kind of just scrap it because, the one that I'm going to walk away with from this week will have most of those levels. But again, you can keep, multiple drawing sets, guys, so don't feel the need to delete anything. But, eventually a zone or a chart will just become useless, over time, and I'll just delete it. Brent, do you ever use OTMs for swings? Yes, my friend. I actually only use OTMs for swings, so it's the same exact logic. I plan to do a class on it because there's a little bit more that goes into it, but yeah, that's my strategy. So again, it's kind of the same logic where it's like, can we get here this week? Is there good volume? Is there good risk reward? So like I like to buy options guys at 2, swing them to 20 instead of, buying an expensive option because I really like to place cheaper risk and then scalp around it. So the OTMs, Brent, for swings are the moneymaker in my opinion, because that's how you'll capitalize on high percent returns. JP, right about now, the last 30 minutes, guys, I usually I try to chill out when it comes to buying same day expirations because odds just really aren't in your favor. I've had some good trades in the last few minutes, but you could buy Amazon guys at $1 right now, and in 30 seconds they'll take it to 10 cents. Like it literally just gapped down 50 cents. So I usually just call it a week at that point. And remember, team, these same day expires, they're our best friend. I'm trying to remove the fear behind them, but we also want to respect them and kind of know when to not touch them. Because think of it logically, guys. Why are they going to go up in value if they expire in 10 minutes? And I recommend watching on an option chart right now a 0 day, and you will see just how drastic they destroy them. Google, for example, 1 minute ago, guys, was at 3.4 at the high, and now is at 1.8. They just wipe it in 60 seconds. So yeah, guys, if you are holding anything, snow from earlier, I would, look to go cash here, team. Remember, we're scalpers, we're day traders. We like to show up cash. So lock everything in, team. Surprisingly enough, everything's probably at the highs if you did end up holding. But let's spend the last few minutes here, guys, starting to dive into, those few little final setups because I don't want to keep you guys too long after the close. All right, guys, so let's break these down here. Oh, Lee, 1.5 billion sell. Sure didn't look like it. All right, team, we'll let the market rally here. Again, not going to get this aggressive. One time I saw an Amazon option in the last 5 minutes go from like 50 cents to like $20. Blew my mind, but it's something that happens once in a lifetime. I'll never forget it, though. It's one of those moments in Wall Street. But all right, guys, let's spend a few minutes here talking about three main setups. One was Amazon. So again, here's what we want to focus on for these types of setups where we want to focus on guys playing around inflection points. And inflection points become either key levels, indicators, or patterns. So I focus on very, basic patterns, guys, such as, flags and wedges. So with this Amazon trade here, let's just get everything lined up. And of course, it's just going to do the move now in the last few minutes. Oh, come on, man. Market knows when you look away. Hey. Oh, I would have loved to see that tape. Let's just scroll quickly, guys, and see if they got filled there. Oh, yeah, there's a lot of fills at that 32.25. All right, team, look at all these orders at 32.25. They wipe through it. Wow. Those 32.30s just spiked to $2. Yeah, this is the madness that can happen, guys. Not too upset about missing these last-minute Larrys. It is crazy, though, what can happen. And another lesson of why we don't want to short a very strong market. What a pop. Let me just show you guys that, that option real quick. Right, in seconds, team goes from, worthless up almost 300% in a minute. And then if you can't lock it, it just starts to come back super fast. They're just, fun and games. But let's drive home, guys, the real points that you want to focus on, which are, sustainable, consistent setup. So again, back to Amazon here. The biggest key, guys, this is an Amazon. Right, this was our basic drawing set for today. We were focused on the 200-day moving average at Thursday's HOD, and we were focused on getting back up towards this key level here from Tuesday, which caused a major inflection and dropped us back down. So if we take a look, guys, adding these indicators, I really recommend focusing on a 1-minute chart and a 5-minute chart. And if you can combine the two on the names that you focus on, which again is why I recommend don't focus on much, or you're going to need 20 monitors, which again, I don't recommend. But if you can watch just a few names, guys, in their 1-minute, 5-minute clouds, you get a lot of amazing information. So again, let's just really break this one down here, team. Just like we saw on Google, these were carbon copy setups. We have a sloppy day, right? Nothing is really happening, team. You want to just stay out of trouble. It tried to break that inflection point. It dropped hard, tried to break it, just chops through it. So really want to ignore that and just let the trade and the setup come to you. And so with Amazon here, guys, we were a little late to this one, but this is what it would look like, where you're seeing it just start to shift down. right? Within that, guys, you just want to focus on basic little downtrends here, watching little wedges. Doesn't always have to be super accurate, but it gives you a little forecast of change. If you look here, team, we like to wait for price to, again, get to an inflection point or to get to a key indicator. So again, the keyest indicators, guys, are VWAP and these clouds with these key moving averages. So we start to base. Whenever we reach a level, guys, don't be the first person in. Start to focus again on pattern recognition of higher lows here. We want to see it start to ramp, right? So it starts to ramp here. And then finally, team, we reach that crossroads where we get that beautiful pop. And that's where the trade starts to unfold. So again, you can wait all day for that one pitch that lines up right here, team. And if you look at a 1 minute chart, right, while we were doing that, guys, we were just bleeding below the 1 minute cloud. We started to reverse here, trade above the 1 minute cloud, and then start that rally higher. So again, combining those two factors, that's where these, great entries come into play. And now again, team, sometimes you have one shot at your entry, right? It popped and it did not stop. So that's why, sometimes you miss it, but you never want to chase, team, because right here was just a big old mess. But if you caught it right here, those options erupted. And that's what we want to focus on capitalizing on. So again, this 5 minute cloud, it looked just like Google. So let's go look at Google now. So again, team, same exact scenario here, right? These scenarios are the only things that are going to happen and present themselves. So again, we're in the middle of nowhere. We want to focus on pattern recognition and getting towards good key levels. So in this case scenario, guys, it was the same exact setup as Amazon, where we start to top out, right? We're just give us a nice little downtrend and a wedge, and we're still holding a slight uptrend. So there's going to be an inflection at some point. Most of the time it waits, oddly enough, for that cloud. We get there, we get the inflection point, and we start to rally. And then you just grind it to your key levels, team. So really, this same setup here, beautiful. Nice wedge, way to get to inflection, and then boom, there's your trade. Amazon, same thing. All right, doing nothing, giving us this wedge, gets to your cloud, and then boom, off to the races. Let's look at Tesla, team. This was another one that we were focusing on. So again, a combination of the 5 minute chart and the 1 minute chart, where again, basic patterns here, team. Let wedges form, right? Let trends form. This is why I really say the more information, the merrier. You don't have all this information, guys, when you first start. That's why you can just wait. Let it form this beautiful little channel. And then it starts to break through it. Like we talked about, we want to focus on getting through the 5 minute cloud, gets through it, holds it, and rallies to our next key level, which was simply just that pre-market high. So again, team, we want to play off key levels, or we want to play off patterns and indicators. And again, to combine it here, when we broke out, that was when, team, we broke above the 1 minute cloud for the first time. All right, so we break below, we're trending, we're trending, we're trending, we bleed again. All right, so higher lows are fine, but then it completely fails. It starts to put in higher lows again, breaks that cloud and holds that cloud. This is where we want to start to get ready. And then it breaks that bigger picture trend, and we are off to the races, team. And ding, ding, ding. So does that make sense, guys? I believe those were the few, that we tried to find really quick. Another one was a Roku 1 minute breakout. So again, team, just a basic shift in momentum. Starts to put in higher lows. Starts to work its way through that cloud and then pop. You get your inflection, ride the 8, back up towards point of control here. Nice little, again, guys, these scalps happen all the time. You just want to wait for that exact moment to strike. But yeah, that's about it here, team. I'll, we quickly covered those few setups that I wanted, so we don't have to stay after too much. But I'm more than happy, guys, to take a few questions here for 5 minutes, and then I'll let everyone start their wonderful weekend. Michael, yeah, internals. So let's talk about internals, guys, real quick. And I promise not to waste your time. So ADD here, this is a great compass team of, what's happening for the overall market. And, we're going to have to talk a little more detail about this as the sessions progress, because this is actually going to be a longer conversation than intended. Whenever we're in extreme levels like 2000, it's really not as valuable. Where if you look at a day like yesterday, right, whole market starts to rally and then whole market starts to top out and roll over, and then the whole market starts to bottom. So ADD gives a really good sense of what the entire market is doing. So we'll dig deeper in this one, guys, but that's a quick example of it. And when it's at these big levels, it's kind of hard to read it, where it's easier when it's closer to zero. And then tick here, team. Let me just make this full screen. So tick is kind of like the gas pedal on a stock or the overall market. And I like to think of tick very basic with two thresholds. One is -600 and -1000. When we hit these levels, guys, we are selling off extreme. Vice versa, when we spend most of our time in the positive, that's when we're pumping very hard. So if you look today, guys, we spend most of our time in this upper range here ticking. Right? We didn't spend much time below -200. We had our little pullbacks, and that's all they were, and we're right back up here in positive ticks. So just to look at something like yesterday, where the market absolutely dumps. Well, we absolutely drop because we spend time, guys, stuck in this zone. And then we absolutely rip and we spend time stuck in this zone. So just for lack of time, guys, I don't want to dig too deep into this, but this is a little compass that we're going to continue to use for all of our live trading sessions. Today with the gap up, ADD was kind of useless, but with tick, it was just really good that we had, strong positive ticks pretty much all day. So again, guys, we'll do a little more conversation on that. Let's see, guys. And man, TGIF, it has been a long week. Rafa, what's the list for Monday to watch? I'll let you know, guys, right? I'll do that prep this weekend. I'll share the list in here, and we'll go from there. And just printing, yeah, we're gonna start around 8 a.m. ideally, but we'll get an alert sent out with confirmation. So just look out for that, team. Albion, would you ever take an entry off a pullback to the 1-minute 8 EMA? Yes. It's a very good entry if you do miss a running stock. If you can get a little pullback to the 8, yeah, it's a nice tight risk reward, but I would cut right back below it. Because again, it's kind of that secondary entry. Anil, how do I prepare for Monday? So great question, guys, and this can be part of your homework. Start fresh, right? I'm going to look at every chart with nothing on it, and I'm just going to slowly start to go through my list and see what's nearing good inflection points. Oh, geez, excuse me. Right, what's nearing good inflection points. So go through the class, guys, and go through the prep process. See if there's any upcoming events this week that we need to focus on. Start with the big picture, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll share my prep process, guys, and what I do, and we'll all be on the same page. Chris, do I have a preset that draws a wedge for you? I do not, Chris. Michelle, do I have a book recommendation for the cloud? I do not. I actually learned the cloud the hard way through just staring at it for hours and hours and hours for years. Yes, Becky. So I typically prep, guys, when the futures market opens on Sunday. So that's when I kind of get to work. So pay attention, guys. I'll post some thoughts in here on Sunday night just to give you, a little sense of what we're looking at for the week ahead. But I'm going to end it here, team. It's Friday. The weekend's calling. I really hope you guys enjoyed today. I personally had a blast. A lot of value shed. And just thanks again, team. It's a true honor to be here. But have a great weekend, guys. Go do your homework, which again is just focus on the core concepts. Watch the replay. Internalize what's happening. And then slowly but surely, guys, get ready for, next session. If you guys need me, have any questions, DM me on Twitter, shoot me an email. You can find me. And Steven, how was today in perspective? Today was, I hate this word, but today was easy. There was a lot of amazing opportunity today, Steven. But all right, team, have a wonderful weekend. Be safe, and I will talk to everyone on Sunday. Be well, team.